Hello my friends, today we are making a dupe and I am so excited. I am going to attempt to make this lighthouse shelving unit. I call it that because I don't remember what the website called it, but I should be showing it on the screen. I should be showing you the cost that they're selling it for, and I'm going to give you my total cost by the end of this. Right now, I suspect it's only gonna be about whatever the cost is of this wood. I got two of these, 1 by 6 by 6, it's 6 feet long, it's 6 inches wide, and I bought two of them. I should have bought lumber that was wide enough for my biggest circle, but I didn't want to pay that money. So I got these two, and I'm going to just cut them up according to the size of each circle, and then glue together extra pieces to make, so that I can make circles out of. It'll make sense after I finish that part of it. I'm not going to film that part because who knows, you might buy lumber that's, if you ever do this project, you would buy lumber that's wide enough. I'm just going to glue pieces together and go from there. I'm also using my bandsaw for the first time in a video, and I'm really excited about that. And let me tell you a little story. If you don't like the story or you don't want to hear it, go ahead and fast forward. But last week we bought, my husband and I, Mark, we bought a table saw because I wanted to be able to rip boards. And I started looking at some videos about how to operate the table saw properly and safely, and I terrified myself. I was like, I called Mark and was like, I want to take it back. I can't do it. I'm too scared. It's just too unsafe. I mean, it was talking about, not basically cutting your fingers off. It was talking about, what do you call it, kickback, where you could propel some piece of wood into your body. No, thank you. No, ma'am. So more research, and I found the bandsaw, which is far safer. It doesn't have kickback, and it's so similar to my scroll saw, and y'all know how I love my scroll saw. If you don't know, look at my previous videos. I love the bandsaw. Oh my gosh, I can rip boards with it. And you know what I discovered? If you look at this, the dupe we're going to make again, you see that there's this swirling piece that goes around it. I found out that I could cut wood so thin, I could rip it so thin with that bandsaw that it's flexible, and I can use that to wrap around my project, at least in theory. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's all in my head. All of my plans are still in my head, and I'm just going to see what happens. But I'm videotaping this intro just in case. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, what I'm doing here, what I have here is a jig, and I'll leave a link below of how I made this jig. It's a circle making jig, and it has measurements on here for the sizes, the half mark of my circles, the half diameter mark. So for example, I have a little nail that I cut off the end of. I don't know if I can, there, can you see that? It's right here. And I have it placed at the 5.5 mark, which would be half the diameter of the 11-inch circle. So what I'm going to do here is put on here the square that I'm going to use to make the 11-inch circle. And what I've done is put a tiny little pilot hole right here in the center of the board, and I'm going to hook it onto this little nail. So once I get the board onto the nail, I thread my jig by this runner into, see, I have this little gully or alley or whatever it is called. I thread this piece into it, and I push it up through the blade until this stop block hits the edge of my platform. I'll do that. See, now it's right at the edge of the blade. If you can see, the blade is at the edge of the board. So I'm going to push it up until the stop block hits the end of my table. And then when it does that, I'm going to start twisting and making it turn into a circle. And there we go. Okay, I cut 3 pieces of wood of this thin, pretty over 60 inches long, just to put them in place, and then I'll cut them the length I want after I get them attached to the circles. I put marks on here where I'm going to place these sticks. Okay, here's what I'm doing. I put 2 pieces of wood together, and I nailed them together so they could stand as a divider between each level. So the 2 pieces of wood are 12 inches, so it'll be between each level, it'll be 12 inches. You might be able to tell that one of the things is crooked. I have no idea how to fix it right now, so I'm just leaving it. And it's the more levels I do, the more stable it gets, and the more it stops twisting around. So we got 2 more to do, and we'll see what we can do with it. I made a mistake. I was cutting down these tall legs, and I cut them down too short. I forgot that I had 1 more level to put up here, and now it has no legs. I decided to attach a screw here and inset these. I thought it would be more stable instead of just trying to glue this on top. Okay, now that this piece is dry, I just set it up here just to get an idea of what it might look like. I cut 2 circles out. This is a 5-inch diameter circle. This is a 4-inch diameter circle. So what I'm going to do is glue these 2 together, and this would be the top. And I'm going to put maybe a 2-layer knobby type piece here. What I'm going to do is come over here to the scroll saw and cut out these 2 round pieces. I'm going to place one on top of the other to make sort of a little knob piece on top like this. See, like that. Okay, I moved my fence on my bandsaw over so close. You see the very, very narrow gap there. And I'm going to use that to cut a very thin strip of wood. I'm not sure, I may have cut it too thick. Before we put this little strip onto the shelving unit, I don't know the name of it, I wanted to take a moment and ask that if you like what you've seen in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you don't mind, please consider subscribing to the channel. I will bring as much content as I can that will be of interest not only to myself, but to you. Thanks. So what I'm doing here is stapling the piece to the edges, but I still have to be really careful because this piece of wood is very thin and I don't want to break it. And I hope I'm in focus here. I'm hoping for the best. I mean, it's not beautiful and it's not perfect, but this is my piece. It's not like I'm selling it.